Good evening, everyone. It is 6:00 PM on Wednesday, March the 18th, 2026. And I'd like to begin our regular workshop of the City Board of Trustees. Our first item this evening is once again to discuss the Sheriff IGA.
Let me see if Dan can get on.
I did get the updated one. Seems to me it comes down to ordinances and insurance. And if they are starting to blend together.
Yeah, I mean, I saw Dan's email that might be exciting. So that he would join, so he can talk about that. Yeah, their insurance won't cover liability for the enforcement of town ordinances, but we're saying that if, and Dan reiterated this to Michael today. Oh, there's Dan. Hey, Dan, we're going over the Sheriff IGA if you want to speak towards it.
Yeah, I apologize. My computer just crashed, so I had to jump on my phone. I reached out to Michael. I believe he's probably on spring break. If we want our resolutions and ordinances to be enforced, we're going to have to get insurance. There are some technical jurisdictional matters with like the model traffic code exempts town streets. They do have jurisdiction over Highway 149. And I'm trying to work with the county to see if we can get them to accept, if we can grant them jurisdiction and they can basically enforce the model traffic code under their stuff so that we don't have to pay that insurance as well. But I haven't heard back yet. I don't know why they wouldn't want to do that. It would seem to me that if we're allowing them to enforce their rules throughout the county, that would be great. And their insurance shouldn't have an issue with it, but I need to hear back from Michael.
Also, like our insurance will want to know if we're getting, if we end up, if it comes out to where we're going to have to get our own insurance for anything to get enforced, then our insurance will want to know if it's a part-time deputy or a full-time deputy to determine what kind of insurance we need to get. And so that's the other branch of that discussion. If the county is saying that they are unwilling or unable to expand the jurisdiction of their resolutions to include the town.
And I did two things on that front also in my email to Michael. The first is saying we don't want to double charge our taxpayers. So to the extent your insurance has issues with it, have them talk directly with our insurance because we don't see the issue. And I also think that to the extent we do need to pay for that because they're unwilling or unable to cover us under their insurance for their resolutions in their county, including the town, that's probably a cost that comes out of the general $70,000. So I'm waiting to hear back on that as well.
So, and Dan, you're also talking about you talked about having them, giving them the authority for the model traffic code, and also in addition to that, also for their resolutions that mirror ours, correct? Or that, the resolutions that mirror each other. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Just so they're enforcing their resolutions in their county by their sheriff and we give them whatever jurisdiction that should. I don't see any reason why we would need to additionally insure them, let the sheriff enforcing his laws in his county.
Right. And we also need to understand, and I think you guys have all heard this, that we are down to the sheriff now. We don't even have somebody that they can dedicate to the enforcement.
To the town.
Right. So I don't know where that puts us in.
Well, no, there's not even a part-time deputy, there's only a sheriff.
Yeah. They won't,
They can't provide an additional deputy to enforce our ordinance.
he's not gonna dedicate himself to us because he's the county.
What the only way
Sheriff.
we could move forward with this and get him supposedly enforcing our ordinances is to get that insurance.
That and or they.
But we need somebody to insure.
Yeah.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
I know, it's frustrating. I know.
Anything else, Dan?
Dan, did you have anything else?
Sorry, I couldn't get unmuted. No, I think that's all. I think we're really close. I think we can make some headway once we get the insurance companies to talk to each other and figure out this jurisdiction issue. And I think that that should be pretty straightforward. And hopefully you guys can get some undersheriffs out there soon.
Jody has her hand up.
Jody?
Hi, good evening. So I had a couple questions about the insurance. One of which is, Lex, I've heard you say that our insurance company will want to know if this is a part-time or a full-time person that they're adding liability, which begs the question, have you gotten a quote from our insurance company on both of these?
I've gotten it for the full-time, which is about $8,980. I have not got a part-time quote from them yet.
Okay, all right, thank you. And just to complicate things, as I was going through the IGA, I realized that one of the big things that we talked about right in the beginning, and I can't remember why it got thrown out with the bathwater, was that we wanted to make a note in the IGA about when the sheriffs or deputies write tickets in the town, making sure that they go to the municipal court. And I don't see that now. And I know I've had lots of time to think about that, so.
And that,
Go ahead, Dan.
oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Trustee Lindsay. That got removed based on the insurance requirements. To circumvent the insurance, essentially, if they're enforcing our ordinances, it's outside of their scope. And if they're enforcing in a place that they didn't have jurisdiction, it's outside of their scope. So those are the two things that would trigger that $9,000 of insurance for us. So we removed those thinking, let's just have you play by your rules in your county, and then we can save the taxpayers that $9,000. So I probably should have been more explicit about why that got removed, but that's a good catch.
You're muted, Jody.
Sorry, as Dave said earlier, again, I'm not quoting. Like, we're looking at this again some more, and so it's a little bit confusing, some of the things that we've been through and haven't been through, and why we've gotten where we are. So if I could just, if we do end up buying insurance or adding a rider to our insurance about this, maybe we can slip that back in and make sure that the tickets come to the municipal court.
If we do get insurance, all of it will be written into municipal court, because they would just be enforcing our ordinances, and all of it would get written into municipal court unless it said otherwise in the IGA, but that wouldn't be the case.
Yeah, county wouldn't accept them if they weren't county resolutions or state statutes.
It
Yeah.
sure seems like we had examples previous about tickets written in town ending up in county court.
There was one, right?
There were examples that we had used from other communities, that one of them specifically, any model traffic code violations were written into county court, and then all other violations were written into municipal court. But that was one of
Okay.
these.
I thought we had like I said, I'm just trying to refresh myself on some of the changes, why we are where we are. And it occurred to me to ask about that insurance, how much part-time, full-time. Okay, I think have all my questions. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Jody,
Trustee
I
Grace.
do remember there was a mistake made at one point where a ticket was written under our ordinance and it was mistakenly given to the county court. But then it got rerouted,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, and now sometimes, at least most recently, we just received one that was written into municipal court, but they mailed it to the state, and the state now has mailed it back to us.
Okay,
That's happened twice in the past year.
okay, yeah, yay. Thanks.
Okay. Well, we will be waiting to find out on the insurance. Trustee
So
Woods.
on section 1A, it says the sheriff shall not be required to enforce any county ordinances.
Yeah,
Right,
this is Michael's, what Michael came back with.
So that's the only thing we're paying for, right?
That's was our understanding, yeah, but not according to Michael, at least.
It's
So
a work.
I think, yeah, I
Go
think to do two things: to avoid the insurance requirement, which if we're protecting the same citizens, and if you guys are already paying at the county level and and it's good with the county's insurance, we want to avoid that. And then to make sure that we're not triggering additional insurance requirements by having our ordinances, and there's just a handful that aren't really closely related to the counties. We're going to have the county hopefully enforce all their county resolutions throughout the entire county. So I guess that's the hope, and hopefully we can hear back from Michael and the insurance. But yeah, nothing with town ordinances, because that automatically is going to trigger that $9,000.
If it's a full-time employee, if it's a full-time deputy that we have in the agreement, that we can have them do town ordinances and to say they're providing a part-time deputy, and then we would be paying part-time limit or law enforcement liability insurance, which I'll get them to give me a quote on it.
Perfect. Thanks.
Okay. Anybody else? Well, I just hope with all the work that's gone into this, we come up with something that's fair and equitable, and we have a good blueprint for the future. And we have a better working document in place, so we don't have to go through all of this again.
And a better working relationship.
Yes. So I appreciate everybody's work on that so far, and it sounds like we're in the home stretch. Good questions, and I appreciate all your work, Larry. No other comments on that. Our next item is to discuss the playground update. That was in your packet.
Looking good.
Lex?
So the old playground equipment's been removed. The guys were waiting for the ground to thaw some more. But I think they'll be doing some of the dirt work next week. We also ordered the timbers that will align the outside of the playground from Blue Spruce. So those should be in within the next couple of weeks. Then I talked to APC Recreation. They have ordered or have it on order to be shipped. The playground equipment here, but that would take usually about 4 weeks. So we were thinking 4 to 6 weeks. It would be here and we would have it installed. So I would say by mid-April or the 1st of May, we should have the playground installed.
All right.
Awesome.
That's great. And did notice some more donations came in, and we're getting very close on that as well.
So all that plastic and steel just went to the Gunnison landfill?
It's going to the dump. I'm not sure if they took it to here. They took it here to the transfer station here, or yeah,
Metals or somewhere. I don't know. You see on the bill.
yeah.
That's pretty sad.
It wasn't recyclable. The plastic was not recyclable.
Is this new stuff recyclable?
I doubt.
I don't know. I don't think they,
Do you do that?
no. No, I think that's out of our control. I mean, not that, I mean, I would have preferred that.
Yeah.
We all would have, right?
There's not industrial recyclable.
Yeah.
Don't know. And I'm gonna have a question on the playground. Do you know, and Christie's on it, if she knows. So the total raise, so we're looking at 32,000. Wait, yeah, short. But then it says new donations. Is that 32? Does that include the new donations? Because it says raised, but then it says new donations underneath. Are they included in the raised?
I do not know, Christine.
Can you guys hear me? I'm having some computer issues. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
The 207 graphic image is from about 2 weeks ago, so maybe March 7th. So in your update, you'll see we've got another 500, 500, 100, 500, 550. So what does that equal?
1,600.
2650.
Yeah.
I also have another one that we just got to process. So the 207, we only update that gap image about every 3 weeks. So I didn't want you guys to be confused. We're still going to raise, we're trying to raise every single dollar.
Okay,
So-
thanks.
Yeah, so Diane, that 207 number is about 2 weeks out of date.
Okay, so the new donations would
Yeah.
make that more. Okay.
Yeah.
And so you see on that line item where it identifies, I think, Hargis, Ruland, Millcap,
Yes.
Buchanan, Schwirka. I'm probably saying that wrong. And then I have two more.
I don't see the Buchanan one on here.
Yeah, and the playground update dated March 12th is what they have in front of them.
Okay, so we've gotten a couple more since then too.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right. Trustee Kendall?
I had an individual approach me about he wants a rock similar to the one in Gunnison at one of their parks. And it's for adults only. It is for climbing. And I can't remember the name of the park.
That's not gonna happen.
It's by McDonald's.
It's a rock. We have lots of rocks. A real rock, a boulder.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well,
in the playground?
No, he wants it in the other park, away from all the kids. over
is he buying it?
Is he paying to get it moved?
Okay, one at a time, one at a time.
I'll tell you who it is afterwards.
Okay.
No, there was discussion in the original plans, we were looking at some little climbing rocks.
Yeah,
We have climbing rocks. that
but
are-
he wants a big one for adults only.
Oh,
Okay,
Oh, yeah, let's.
yeah, that sounds dangerous.
Yeah.
they're called mountains.
This.
And there's a big one in the armory over there.
Yeah.
So,
That's funny.
okay, any other trustees, questions or comments?
No, it looks great.
All right, no, I think we're getting close, and I think the good news is the time of completion will be just in time for the busy season. So I think that's great news.
That is really good.
Okay, no other questions or comments. Our next item is to discuss the 2025 Linfield County Community Wildfire Protection Plan. I got a chance to look that over. I did try to read the whole thing. It's amazingly long.
Yes, it is.
I believe it is tied in with our emergency plan. It's a separate plan, but it falls along the same lines and was actually done last year. And I think this is pretty much a formality. In the commissioners meeting, they did go ahead and approve that. And it's an action item for us this evening. Any trustees have any questions or comments in regards to that?
I'm just wondering, since we're being asked to approve it, but we're not a signatory on the plan.
Yeah, I think we kind of fall under the
We
cap.
have to be, it says,
No, it says county.
Yeah.
Yeah, I consider this the town.
I don't have.
It's on the second page.
Oh.
The following key personnel agree with the content within this plan and consent with its implementation.
Is that a lot like the county runs underneath our town? So we're covered through.
Well,
that.
that's fine. I just wonder
I don't know.
why.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Huh.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I did notice the town wasn't.
I will ask Phil, because Phil had sent this to me and asked about it.
I mean, I'm willing to approve it without that at this point,
Yeah, we can just,
just to move it down. the
I think it
road.
was just an oversight. Like, we can just add the town as a signatory.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll add the town. It should be on here.
Page ran out of space.
Yeah,
Is that what it is?
and it is
There is a number of signatures on
93 pages.
Yeah.
there.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
I just hope that everybody that needs to know what's in this plan in case of an emergency knows where to go to read what to do.
There's like planned implementation stuff in here,
Okay.
engaging the community, educating them. I mean, I've heard some other communities are actually trying to enforce the defensible space and getting rid of fuel around homes. And I've seen some stuff on the manager's list of people kind of bounce around ideas and what other people are doing, or if they're imposing fines if you don't do it, or they won't, issue a building permit unless you build like a fire resistant fence and all this other things. So I know other communities have been addressing it in different ways.
I think a couple of things that stuck out in my mind, one where we're lucky is there's a map in there where it specifically talks about the county and where it's relatively low risk. Where the town's situated with the steep slopes.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing, and, so we're fortunate there. I remember going to a planning meeting a couple of years ago, and some of the things that crossed my mind, they talk about in here is two forms of getting in and out, egress and ingress. And that makes it kind of tough here, because, that San Juan Ranch Estates has worked out their own plan. But there's one bridge and there's one road in and out of there. And I had brought up at that meeting the ball flats, and as that area is filling up with people during our avalanche year, it was kind of a temporary escape to come out through the Texan.
Yeah, you just have to move the boulder out of the way.
Yeah, there were some challenges, as far as having two forms, but other than that, I think it's a very thorough plan.
Yeah.
And they did a good job, and,
I just cut down 20 trees on my lot.
Yeah.
Giving myself a defensible space. And we're metal siding our house to give us even more fireproofness. We only have 2 sides left to cover in metal.
one of the other things we got going for us, just because I spent time on the fire department, is for our community, we have a good ISO rating for a community our size with a volunteer department. I remember when Chief Hagendorf was here, he did a lot of work getting that down to a 3. So that actually plays a role in insurance. And insurance is getting harder and harder to come by because of the scare of wildfires.
Yeah.
So
But we have data that shows that we're in a good area. That's less like.
Well, I mean, right here in this plan. So, where there's like good dispensable space inside this core of town. But there's a high wildland urban interface risk.
What page is that on?
Uh,
Oh, I got
page,
it, 48.
I don't know when I
Yes,
printed it out.
I've got it,
didn't
40, 49. Defensible space, yeah.
Yeah, but it's still a high wildland urban interface. But yeah, we don't have that many assets to be at risk.
Mhm.
okay, like I said, that is a action item this evening. Anybody have any other questions or comments on that or problems with it? Okay, we'll we get there, somebody decides to make a motion on that, we need to include that we would add as. It's page 14, the one that I was referring to. Page 4-14.
Yeah,
And that's where a majority of our town is in the lowest risk. And then over here on this side, it's low risk. So that's where I'm saying we're fortunate. We're always at risk because we're not.
Yeah.
Okay, no other questions or comments on that? Our next item is to discuss Colorado 150 US 250th celebration. This is one in one of our past meetings. We had asked people to visit with their committees and boards that they serve on to find out any ideas of things that the town would like to do to celebrate. Anybody have anything to report?
Well, I brought it to my board, the dirt board. And they're willing to help, but we have to discuss specifics and we have a meeting tomorrow night.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that we'll discuss that tomorrow night.
Okay,
I don't know if, I haven't come up with any light bulb ideas yet. But I mean, I think that they would certainly be willing to assist the town with something if we wanted to do something specifically, or maybe the county and the town should collaborate. And
well, I know Lake City Arts had applied for that grant for the youths to come.
Right.
And I think they were planning on doing it on August 1st, on the
that's Colorado.
Colorados.
Yeah.
I haven't heard about anybody else trying to organize anything.
Well, 4th of
But we
July is a big celebration.
Yeah.
I don't know what else we could.
Right, outside, right. That's a
Could
good
do.
point. That's a good point.
Our museum, we've got a Colorado 150, 250 display coming from some organization. It's kind of state related. So they're going to send us all kinds of stuff and we're going to have stuff in our museum related to 150, 250.
okay. Yep, well, and I think, the key to it is on the 4th of July, and if the town wants to do something different 4th of July for that celebration. Trustee Woods?
So, the art center is sponsoring that Ute Mountain Ute dance. And, they're trying to raise money for it. So I hope that, you guys could pass the word around on the art center website. There's a spot where you could donate to that,
Okay,
let people know. And that would be from 10 to 12 on that day. And then after 1, there'll be a beading demonstration in the art center by Linda Jacket that makes all their costumes. The art center has to reserve the park on that day.
Yeah, they would. They haven't applied. I mean, that's something we could do too, is waive those fees.
Well, and the other thing to remember is we're probably going to be under fire restrictions. I'm just guessing.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So we can, unless we get special
To try to address that.
special dispensation this time, Henry, and bring somebody with you with a camera
Well,
or a recorder.
okay,
video.
okay. Let's get back on track here. We're looking for suggestions on trustees or board of any other ideas.
Biodegradable ones. Say 150, 250.
Biodegradable.
Okay,
You guys know how to say that?
he does. Jesse does.
What?
How to say that word?
Bio,
The
Biodegradable?
no, the quasi.
Sesquicentennial.
Yeah.
Sesquicentennial.
Yeah, because Texas had that when we were down. That's what's in there.
Good job, Jimmy.
okay, anybody else? Trustee Lindsay, did you have any suggestions for that?
I'm all out of ideas. So I know, let's have an ice cream social in the park.
Okay.
Cupcakes.
That sounds original.
I have the strangest feeling of deja vu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we've got a little time to work if anybody has any great ideas, but I think it's, it's a celebration. We'll be celebrating on the 4th anyways, but I would like the town to participate. Like Trustee Bruce said, maybe we can work with the county if they have any other ideas. Come up with something.
So,
Trustee Bruce.
so Jesse, are you gonna pull the trailer again with the float?
I'm not on the board anymore.
So Jesse, are you gonna pull the trailer with your?
Okay, everybody keep thinking on that. Oh,
I have,
Trustee Woods.
so if it's all right with everybody, I'm gonna approach those guys in Creed that blew me off last year again and see if they'll come and do some kind of mining
Yes, we can.
demonstration.
That'd be good.
Okay, that'd be great.
Okay.
Trustee Weeks?
No, not that Jamie.
They may be doing their own.
Nathan was gonna say he'll drive the trailer.
I mean, if the Lake City Arts is only looking to use the park from 10 to 2 or from 10 to noon, then if we did have other events or other demonstrations or something, then that could take place after the youth. And so we can make a kind of like a full day in the park of,
Okay.
just give someone an idea.
Kind of like the town celebration.
Can we get cupcakes again?
Well, maybe. I don't know. Y'all talk about it. Y'all tell me to buy cupcakes and I will.
So we're still in the planning stages.
Yeah.
Hopefully people's wheels are spinning. And we'll readdress it at our next workshop. How about that?
All right, sounds good.
See if we can start nailing some things down.
Oh,
Wow.
That being said, that wraps up our agenda for the regular workshop this evening. It's 6:32 p.m. We have a very small agenda this evening, so I am personally hoping we can set a record for this meeting. We will adjourn back at 7:00 p.m. for our regular meeting.
Bye.
Welcome everyone. It is 7:00 p.m. on Wednesday, March the 18th, 2026. And I would like to call to order the regular meeting of the Town of Lake City Board of Trustees. Begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Ethan, would you lead us this evening?
Pledge allegiance
To the flag, the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call, please.
Bruce,
Here,
Kendall, here. Lindsay,
Here,
Winery, Woods,
here.
Weast,
Here.
Roberts.
Here. Okay, next approval of the agenda for the regular meeting for March 18th, 2026. Do we have any additions or changes to our agenda?
I move to approve the agenda for regular meeting, March 18th, 2026.
Second, roll call vote.
Bruce,
Yes.
Kendall,
Yes.
Lindsay,
yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Weast,
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes. Next is regular meeting minutes from our meeting on March 4th.
Thing looks good.
Looking over it, I didn't see any errors. Trustee Spelter. Okay.
Motion to approve the regular meeting minutes.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Bruce.
Yes.
Kendall,
Yes.
Lindsay,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Weast,
Yes.
Yes.
Roberts.
Next is bills payable for March 18th, 26. I looked them over. I didn't see anything majorly out of line. Lex, do you have any?
Weast has his hand up.
Okay.
There was mail devices for testing. UPS mail devices.
What number is it on?
36. Mail devices. Oh, maybe it's samples.
Well,
That's
I think
general-
it's,
Oh, mail
No.
devices for testing, yes.
That's general fund numbers.
yeah, that's probably, I don't know if that was for the election or not. I'm not sure exactly what that is.
Oh, let's see, okay.
Maybe.
It was just a point box. Yeah.
And this building enforcement contract, so every, because that's what we're paying Gabe, right?
It's quarterly, yeah.
Okay. This company right here. I know you said it before. So.
Just, that's our accounting software. The only thing, 79 and 80, 79, I'm sorry, 78 Solar Bear. We finally got the final electric work that we were waiting on to have that final expansion completed. And then we had 3 of our former pumps that had burned out for one reason or another. We got them refurbished. So that's what that is, and that'll be for future use.
Good to know we have extra.
So
That's good.
does that mean we're the biggest ice climbing area in North America now?
Possibly, yeah, once we have it with, like, we weren't able to fire up all of Sherwin, the whole expansion yet. So next year,
Yeah, when it's colder.
that will be our claim.
I'm already telling people that.
Good,
I've been telling people.
yeah. Yeah, at least in the lower 48 states, and that's even what some of the professional climbers are saying.
I thought it was North America.
Well,
Canada,
maybe not Alaska.
maybe down in Mexico.
And we do have some international climbers, so
Oh, yeah.
as you research that, Lex, see if we're the largest in the world.
Yeah, yeah, well, I think next year, the US climbers that represent the US in the ice climbing event will be actually competing in Europe when we have our festival. But yeah, we'll definitely seek some input from others to validate our claim.
Maybe change the date so we can get them here for ours.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, let's get back to bills payable. Any other questions from any trustees? Trustee Lindsay, you have any questions on bills payable?
No, thank you, though.
Hearing none, I entertain a motion.
I moved to pay the bills of March 18th, 2026, $57,617.79.
I'll second.
Motion is second. Roll call vote, please.
Bruce,
Yes.
Kendall,
Yes.
Lindsay,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Weist,
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes. Next, citizens' comments on items not on the agenda. We don't have any citizens in the room. Any citizens on Zoom have any comments for us? Raise your hand or unmute yourself. Seeing none, we will move on. Next is committee reports. The first one is Lake San Cristobal Water Activity Enterprises, Trustee Wood.
So the water coming out of the lake is, right now is 13.4 cubic feet per second. And at Gateview, it's 48 cubic feet per second. The elevation of the lake is 8995.31, which is 93% of capacity. And Blue Mesa is at 418,834 acre feet, which is only 50% of capacity. The Slum Gully and Snowtail site shows 5.9 inches of snow water equivalent, which is only 49% of the median amount. Blue Mesa Reservoir, that April through July inflows are expected to be 320,000 acre feet, which is 49% of the period of record, which is the period of record is the last 131 years. And it's expected to fill to approximately 7,477 feet. And this is still 42 feet below the full elevation. And we're still waiting to see what's going to happen as far as what the Bureau of Reclamation does to us this summer. See how much we have to let out. Currently, 59% of Hinsdale County is experiencing moderate drought conditions. 23% of the county has moved into severe drought. If you look at that map, that thing I sent, you can see the severe drought part goes right over and covers Lake City. So, before the drought conditions are expected to continue for the next couple of months. And Governor Paulus has activated the state drought task force, which I can't remember for sure, but I believe we appointed John Paulus to be our representative on that drought task force. Didn't we?
I have no idea.
Remember that
I do not
last year?
know, but
Okay, we
I'll check
might,
my notes.
what?
I'll check my notes.
We might find out who our representative is, just for the heck of it, but somebody's, anyway, the governor's expecting something out of it. I don't know what.
My understanding is that's a technical group.
Pardon me?
That's a technical group. It's not by area. It's by expertise.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Because we had a drought task force that, thanks, asked us to appoint somebody to last year.
I think, no, sorry. I think it's strange that we're in the northwest section of Colorado for the drought stuff. It's like, really? Northwest? It doesn't make much sense, but I guess
Who
I
said
heard that
that?
last night. Yeah. They were talking about the chamber meeting. It's like, that's weird.
No, I did, and Henry, in your report that you had sent, I found it interesting, and it had a bar chart of the reservoirs around here, and Blue Mesa was the second to the worst.
Yeah.
As far as how low it is. Pretty scary. We could talk about water all night.
Yeah.
It's Powell is right there at critical level. So.
We did on Sunday.
Yep. All right. Anything else, Henry? Anybody have any questions for Trustee Woods? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to the Gunnison Basin Roundtable. Once again, Trustee Woods.
I attended the meeting on Monday evening. And then also the Colorado River District State of the River report. And I'll have a report next month on those two items.
Okay.
If that's all right. It was all about the lack of water and the hot temperatures. We've got record temperatures everywhere since they've been measuring in our area. And climate change is really hitting us hard.
Yep, it's amazing. I heard Gunnison's going to be in the 70s for the rest of the week. All right. We will look forward to your report, the next meeting, next time. Okay, next item is the Historic Preservation Commission. I don't see Mr. Fox with us this evening.
No, he's in California. They approved at a special meeting last week, they approved a COA for the fire department to get their garage door replaced. And they had a preliminary review of another, a COA for a new residence over there by the Rock House up at Hinson. And they're just waiting for the final complete plans, which they'll schedule another special meeting to approve that once we receive that.
And that's a separate bill.
It's a separate building this time.
In-house.
Well, and I appreciate them holding special meetings. We can come out, get that done in a win-win situation. So, anything else on that, Lex?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Anybody have questions? Hearing none, next is Chamber of Commerce, Trustee Kendall.
Yeah, we just had a meeting Monday and, financial report, part of it, showing big profit, have not yet spent much yet. Women's Club donation of 2,000, that was spent on the Brewski and will be used for next year's event also. And then, social media, visitors guide, they're gonna be online also, and also print up some, so that, people want to come in and get a hard copy, they can. Kat's now in charge of the visitor center and the Chamber of Commerce, Kat Menzies, and she'll take on office portion of the events. And they're going to change how the events are handled. Events person will take charge about 2 weeks before each event, and then they'll get all their ducks in a row. My words. But finalize volunteers and put on events and get the volunteers then. They'll have bingo, and Danny and others will handle that. And then I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. The last page, I didn't write much there. So,
Okay.
yeah.
I bet they're busy gearing up for summer.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Any other trustees have questions? Chamber? Hearing none, next is the Marketing Committee report, Trustee Bruce.
That is attached to your documents. Our marketing consultant report is attached to your documents. Mission to market, Andrea. You can look over that. It's about social media and what's been going on. They're also working very diligently on getting the guide, vacation guide, completed and then sent to print. So that's ongoing. And that's all. That's about it for there.
Okay. Any questions? Next is the MAC Committee, also Trustee Bruce.
Not a meeting.
Okay. And then your third obligation, Trustee Bruce.
So, Christy did text me and she did tell me from the last gap update on the playground. So we had raised 207, 175, and we have raised another 2,400 and we'll continue. So we've raised 209, 575, aiming towards 239, 253. So.
That's great.
Yeah, it's really good. We have a meeting tomorrow afternoon, and let's see, advertising for vendors for Wednesday's markets went out. It's going to be run June through September plus July 3rd. DIRT has announced the music for the festival, music lineup. Any sponsors need to contact Christy by May 1st to make the poster. The hanging basket delivery will be in early June. There's been an AARP grant submitted for town park benches and also to do signs for exercising in Memorial Park and tables and chairs for the Armory. So we'll get a decision on that grant in May. So, yeah, those signs that say, stop here and do 10 jumping jacks or whatever. Yeah. Okay, that's it.
All right, any questions? Nope, next is Region 10, that's myself. The last meeting I attended was the regular board of directors. And it was pretty much a housekeeping meeting. We went over the audit. It was presented, presentation on the community services, what they're doing out there. They are working really hard on trying to find more funding for senior services because of the cuts that happened in the past. But they're very active. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but they have a thing called the Business Cultivator. And they'll actually take people, like if you want to get into the food service, take you in there, and they have a full commercial kitchen, and they do training and that kind of thing. They have a lot of business services to help people. And as I always do, I push people here because on all the charts and graphs, Hinsdale County is always a sliver. And there's opportunities there for anybody that wants to do that. They did elect a new person to the executive committee. And other than that, the business loan fund has been very busy. There's a number of requests coming down the pipeline. And the one thing I was going to throw out there, I shared this with Lex, but I'm always kind of preaching we got to be prepared and be careful with our budget and our reserves. They came out with a special loan, emergency loan fund for over in the Telluride area because of their winter season. Between the ski patrol strike and a lack of snow, there's businesses in trouble right there at the base of the ski hill, and they had to come out with emergency funding for that. So it's just kind of an eye opener as to got to be prepared because things can happen real fast. And so I'm always happy how the board is a little bit more on the conservative side with our funds and hanging on to our emergency. Other than that, coming up next week, on Thursday will be the next executive committee meeting, and I'll give you a report on that one. And we're going to get you on a committee here before it's all over, all the other trustees. So, yeah, pay attention to what everybody else is doing, and then decide which is going to be your strong suit. Region 10, it would be great. I technically serve on the county's behalf, and the board is supposed to have a representative, and I just attend both board meetings to stay in the loop. So that's something, if you're willing to get involved with it, it'd be great.
No further questions on what they deal with.
Okay. All right. Any questions on Region 10? No. Next is planning and zoning. Mr. Dozier's not here. Lex?
Yeah, we were at the planning zoning meeting, we were discussing the requirements that would be included or like the dimensional requirements, the zoning requirements for ADUs. So we've been slowly working on an ADU ordinance to allow ADUs, which is kind of the first step before we start creating incentive programs for their construction. So they're continuing to work on that. They'll continue that conversation next week. The planning and zoning has actually invited Richard Hiltingsrud to that meeting to kind of catch him up on what we're working on. And he has graciously accepted that. And we can get to that when we get to correspondence. But yeah, we'll be meeting next Thursday to continue the discussion about ADUs. And to get Richard in on what we're doing, at least with planning and zoning we're doing.
Okay.
I think Richard would be a great fit.
Yeah. That's all.
Okay.
Discussed.
Any questions? Hearing none. Next is town manager report.
Yep. So the Bluff well, the 6-inch meter there. We were looking into places where we could get it tested, but we couldn't find anybody that would actually come here and test it. We did find an outfit that we could mail it to, and it would be a month turnaround time. I believe it was about $1,100 for them to just test it. And that's not the cost also if they calibrated it or needed to do repairs to it. So if you include all that, it's probably upwards of $2,000 to get that done or more. However, that meter is towards the end of its life. It probably has 2 or 3 more years of its useful life. So we were kind of debating, is it really worth it to get it tested and calibrated and repaired when it's already towards the end of its life? New meters are costing anywhere from $2,700 to $5,400, depending on the type the 3 that we got quotes on. So we're kind of debating about just buying a new master meter. Another fun fact is that meter that we have currently is supposed to be calibrated every year, and it has never been calibrated. So that may explain some of the numbers, but we won't really know unless we get a new one in there, and then we will know if it's actually like recording the amount that it's pumping correctly.
What about the other?
The ball field, well, that one hasn't been used as much. That's another bridge.
That's a different story.
Yeah.
Calibrated.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
should be calibrated if we're gonna count on it for, but we're focused on using the Bluffwell for now.
Yeah. We're just gonna do Bluff first, and then figure out the other one, especially if we have to remove it and send it out. We don't want to do that when we actually need it during the peak season. So, that's a little update on that. And we'll discuss this more about the master meter come April 1st, and have a recommendation. Ethan is actually last night he went to Denver. He's graduating from the apprenticeship program for the Colorado Rural Water Association. He's actually at the top of his class, with the best grades and the most classes completed and passed. Sounds like they're going to make him a little poster child of the program, which is cool.
Awesome.
And then from there, he's heading to Grand Junction. He's taking his wastewater B test this Friday. So kudos to him. He's doing a really good job. He's really taking his education seriously. Willie's also graduating. He is also graduating. He just wasn't able to go down there to do it. He wasn't really interested in doing that. But there was a lot of pressure on Ethan to go because they were going to show him off.
Poor Ethan.
Yeah. So he's doing a really good job, is what I'm saying. The personnel policy, we had hired Employers Council to do that, or I guess one of their consultants to do that. And we did pay the fee as if it was done, but then shortly afterwards, that guy resigned. And the new people, like on his exit interview, he didn't even mention us. And they couldn't find any work that he had done on our personnel policy. So now there's a new consultant assigned to us. They realized what happened. They apologized. What we agreed on was that they would refund us what we've paid and just kind of start fresh, but they would stay within the quote that we were given originally. I'm still waiting for one of their members to schedule a meeting with me to begin that process, but it's spring break week. So that's been delayed. I wanted to update you on that. And then I already told you about the playground, ordering the beams, and having the playground installed here in about 4 to 6 weeks. I've just been really working on the first set of audit questions. I've pretty much completed all the audit questions today. I'm reaching out to David so I can start sharing that with him, and get that process done. I'm hoping I hope he has the time to get it done within the next month, so that I can get that behind us, and start working on some of the other, getting really grant applications prepared for the summer. So Tina's doing really good. She's about to hit her 6-month review. I'll be doing her reviews soon, but she's doing really, really, really good. And she's really good with records. I think she's besides Michelle Pierce, maybe, she's probably read more records than anyone else in Lake City, and finds it fascinating. She's really good at organizing. So I'm very grateful for that. Appreciative of it.
Wow.
And Christina's doing really, really well. Also, she's out most of this week. She's been coming in the morning, but and doing some basic stuff or getting some things done. But yeah, no, their staff is doing a really, really good job. I'm really proud of everything. And that's all I got.
All right, any questions for Lex? No, I'm glad to hear you're looking at those meters. To me, that's we don't want to spend more money than we have to, but that's pretty integral to the system to know how much you're really pumping,
Yeah.
you know, so we can stay on top of that.
Yeah.
And, you know,
And
it's good that you know we're supposed to be testing them manually too.
Yeah, and one of the new ones, suppose you don't have to calibrate them. Like they're good for 20 years.
It's a different technology.
It's a different technology. But it could explain a lot if it was supposed to get calibrated every year. It's never been calibrated. They could explain the pumping numbers, which I'm really hoping that's the case. So,
Yeah, and it sounds smart, you know, I mean, common sense, don't put a whole bunch of money into an old one.
right.
You know, put that money towards having one that wouldn't have to be calibrated, so thanks for being on top of that. All right, next is the town engineer report. And Joanne is with us in person this evening. Nice to
Yeah,
see
in
you.
person, I think.
Come on up and share with us.
We're moving along a little bit. And they're working on building berm and looking into more efficient ways to get rid of the sludge or get it hauled. They're evaluating whether to bring in a centrifuge, which would spin the slurry around and separate the water from some of the water from the solids. Get it so that it's a whole lot fewer trips, because the turnaround time with the back truck was like 2 hours. They get 6,000 or 8,000 gallons at a time. That was really slow. So they're looking at different ways to do it this year. The one thing I think we needed to run by you is we think we're going to recommend to you the purchase of 2 aerators for the concrete basin. That was the final piece we had said, we had told the contractor we would furnish, and it just kept falling off my plate. And then it took a long time to get people to respond. But anyway, we got 2 proposals for units for aeration that float on the top. They have a tube that blows air down into the water and a propeller that spins it and disperses it. And the 2 that we were looking at also include a blower to get even more air in per horsepower. And one of them, they were real close in price. And one of them was available in 8 weeks to 10 weeks, and the other was 16 to 20. And so we're suggesting that as soon as we get the purchase order, we want to buy the one that comes soon.
Yeah.
And it's also somebody that's been active in the States much longer, so.
Yeah. Yeah, the lead time is what I was really concerned about.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was like, whichever one has the lead time, the shortest lead time, that's the one
Yeah.
we're going to
Yeah,
recommend.
and there was less than $2,000 difference.
And they're
between-
rated the same basic.
They both will, a standard aspirator puts out 2 pounds of oxygen horsepower per hour. And when you add the blower to it, it takes it up over 3.5. So,
Almost double set.
yeah. So,
And those are for the concrete pond, the first
Yeah,
one there.
the concrete pond is set up so that the intent was that we would use it the way it's used now, just it's aerobic, it feeds the next cell and so forth. But and we also have we're going to generate a lot of nitrate if we convert all of the ammonia. Remember, we have lots of ammonia, and that gets converted to nitrate. And to get rid of the nitrate and get it into nitrogen gas, you need an anoxic, less low oxygen environment. So the plan is we're going to recycle some of the water after it's gone from ammonia to nitrate back to the concrete basin and try to get that nitrate to go bubble off.
Holy smokes.
All right.
For a lagoon, this is a pretty fancy lagoon.
Yeah.
This is what I call a lagoon plus.
I think it's more holy crap.
Yeah, I know.
There you go. So,
Sorry.
unless anybody has any problems with it, Lex will sign the purchase order when it comes. We'll go through the terms and make sure Dan needs a look.
Yeah, but it's just gonna kind of speed things along. It would be
Yeah.
good once we get it, if I could just sign it and then, move forward.
Well, I think we've all been behind the project. We got to get it done. And I know Lex and I were having some discussion, and it's hard on everybody, but the supply chain issues have been something else.
Yeah,
Just getting things here. So
that's why.
I appreciate how much you've been pushing. And I know it helps you sleep better at night knowing that things can't get here when you planned on. But
Yeah. The blowers is supposed to come next week.
Yeah, then we're supposed to arrive in October. So that gives you an idea of the supply chain.
Yeah.
all right. Any trustees have any questions or comments on allowing Lex to move forward with that? And Joanne?
Do it.
Do you want to see it, Dan, or only if we have questions?
I really appreciate your expertise in this area. So if you have questions, let me know. And if not, I definitely trust you.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody have any other questions for Joanne? All right, thank you.
Thanks.
We
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Joanne.
Okay, and now legal update.
Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate all your guys' patience trying to work through this IGA. So I'm happy to answer any questions, but I don't really have anything for you tonight.
I think so. Anybody, any trustees have questions for Dan?
We appreciate your time as well.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Now mayor trustee reports. Any trustees have anything they'd like to share or report? Trustee Woods?
Well, I found out, I read a whole series of articles recently, and it looks like the cost of clean energy is now lower than fossil fuel produced energy. You know, for years and years, they've been saying that we have to stick to the fossil fuel produced energy because it was cheaper. But now the wind and solar are cheaper. And, but we're still limited by Gunnison County Electric and Tri-State as to how much clean energy we can use. You know, if you want to put solar panels on your house in Lake City, you can only put on the amount that's up to 20% more than your annual usage. You can't feed more back into the system than you use very much. And your Tri-State has limited Gunnison County Electric to how much clean energy they can use to try to keep the coal burning natural gas plants functioning. So I just wanted to bring that up, and I hope, if you don't believe me, I hope you'll research it on your own.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nothing.
Trustee Kendall, anything?
No.
Trustee Weeks? Trustee Lindsay, do you have anything you wanted to share or report?
Not this week. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I don't either, other than, like I say every time, come on rain, come on snow, come on something.
Come on, anything wet.
Yep. And I just encourage everybody to do some thoughts about that anniversary, you know, what we can come up with there. And other than that, thank you to our staff, doing a great job. It always makes me happy when I go into the town office there and I see our guys out working hard. And Park and Rec, they just do a fantastic job. And there's still people, I don't think it's called ice climbing anymore, I think it's called snow cone climbing, but they're still out there. Okay. Anybody got any questions for me? No. Okay, Next is correspondence received. We got that letter from Richard, and I don't say his last name because I mess it up every time.
No, that's great.
But I am in agreement. I think he would be a great addition. We could always use more community input. And, I responded to the one in the email just saying,
Yeah.
I think it would be a great
That
thing.
would be up to Lex, probably.
Oh, I'm very much in favor of him helping. I really appreciate his offer. He's actually online too.
I know, absolutely. I
And
don't,
that letter was impressive.
yeah, I don't think we need to add
Yeah.
anything to that or, yeah,
Yeah, we accept, is that what we're all saying? Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah, I believe so. Hey, Rich,
it's above my pay grade.
sounds like the board's in support of you. Do you have anything you'd like to say? Share with us?
Is my mic on now? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, thanks for the opportunity to help out. Looking through that document, there's a lot of work to be done, and you all have the business of running the town. So if I can help you, the planning committee, whoever, just help navigate through what's coming, I'm more than happy to do that.
Thank
All
you.
right. I really appreciate your letter, and I think you'd be a great asset, and appreciate your willingness. Yeah.
Maybe he'd be a good candidate for our
Yeah.
housing coordinator.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna follow up with him and he's gonna come to that planning and zoning meeting next week. And then I'm gonna schedule a meeting with him, so we can touch base and share what I can share with him what information I have. And then come up with a plan and we'll start working on that.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And I will learn how to pronounce your last name correctly. I don't know why I have a problem with
I'm sure nobody's ever screwed it up before.
that. Okay, nothing else on that. Additions to the agenda, we have none. And so we have one action item this evening, we discussed in depth earlier. It is discussion and possible action to adopt the 2025 Hinsdale County Community Wildfire Protection Plan.
I so move with the addition of adding the town of Lake City as a signatory, indicating our approval of the plan.
Second,
Jody,
We have a motion and a second, and also, if anybody has discussion, but Lex is gonna check into that because he had brought up the fact that on that list in other counties, there are other counties that are signing it, but the towns don't. So he's gonna get clarification.
Yeah, I think because it's the Hinsdale County plan, we should be on it. And I guess maybe that's why we were on it, it's just we're the town in the county. You know, and those other jurisdictions are probably in support of when we need help with a wildfire.
right,
So, but I'll just get clarity and get that added, and figure that out tomorrow.
Okay, all right, sum that up. We have a motion and a second. Anybody else have any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Bruce.
yes,
Kendall.
Yes.
Lindsay.
yes.
And Wood. And Lisa. Robert.
Yes. And nothing else on our agenda for this evening. We are adjourned.
7:41. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
He likes.
Thank you, everyone.